is trying to do with him. I mean, they're doing everything they can to hold him back.
And I'll use another game changer and hold you over if need be. I don't want to shortchange you, but a timeout here. Exactly. And Ron Paul is a new philosophy of football, as they've had many that replace the old school, that is going to be the winning philosophy in the future. And so it doesn't matter if he doesn't win this Super Bowl. He's developing a program and a system that is going to prove to be a winner in the future, which is actually taking us back to the old Republic form. And that's why playing and resisting is winning. Go ahead.
It's clear in the debates that he has logic and truth behind what he's saying. And, you just can't compete with that. And once you see the truth, you can't turn back and away from it.
That's right. Lies cannot compete with the truth. So how do lies win then? If lies can't compete with the truth, how do they win, Tommy?
They don't win.
They don't win if you get on the field with truth. The only time lies wins is when the truth doesn't show up or doesn't stand up. You see that beauty? That's why resistance is victory. You got the truth. You stand up. You can't lose. You understand?
Absolutely. I have a couple suggestions for you.
Go ahead, my brother.
I was frustrated and, I guess angry at what they were doing with Ron Paul at first, but then it hit me, they're giving us the tools to take them down, and there can be a heck of a documentary made with what they're doing to Ron Paul. It's just all out there in the open. All you got to do is pull together the clips, and, we got them. You can totally take them down. They're ready to go. And also, I'd like to suggest a guest for you, Richard Grove. He's buddies with Corbett Report and Jan Irvin, and I think, studying the trivium and quadrivium, I think that's a good foundation for people whenever they're arguing with other people.
I think Richard Grove has been on. You're talking about basic Greek logic?
Yeah, all that stuff. It's simple, but it's super duper effective in arguing with folks.
Yeah, because in an age of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Great points, my friend. Okay, I got to stop with calls for now. I got to hit some news. But I got callers that are general callers, and I have 3 little disagreeers. Monday through Friday, we're here 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have a free iPhone app and other apps as well at Infowars.com, the listen button. You can find out more there, or you can listen to the free podcast, the audio streams there, or on your local AM or FM affiliate. And we're getting about 3 new affiliates a week in the last year. Now, some get sold or changed, but we're well over 100 affiliates now. Very, very exciting. Okay, here's the deal. I got a bunch of regular callers that I don't know what they're calling about because we don't screen your calls. But I did say if you disagree, you're welcome to call in. We got 3 of them, one from New Zealand, one from closer to home, Texas, and one from New York. New York City. Just joking. I love folks from New York, but that is a funny pace picante sauce ad. And so we'll go to your calls, then I'll get into the news, into the next segment news, then back into the regular callers. But I will say this. Almost every time I take calls that disagree, they never bring up real issues. Or they bring up personal issues or side issues. I wish it was about the fact that we're losing our liberties and going into tyranny, and that's not a good idea. Who can deny that now? With the government saying, yeah, we'll arrest citizens secretly and kill you if we want. That's the essence of a corrupt government. But they obviously disagree. Let's go to Kiwi Land, beautiful Emerald Isle of New Zealand, to talk to Chris. Chris, what time is it in New Zealand?
It's 12:21 p.m. So p.m. Sorry.
It's noon, but you've had so much liquor that you're not sure. Okay, you're calling us from New Zealand, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, why will this affect New Zealand in a way? Because it's all about USA, for instance. Why is it not about any other country like, let's say here, Australia or New Zealand or Japan or anything? It's all about America and how it's a big country. Are you sure it's all about America? Are you sure it's not about these other countries as well? Like
Sir, I'm going to be honest with you, and I want to hear your point. In fact, before I say this, I want to hear your point. Are you saying that I'm not blaming America enough, and I'm not pointing out that it's mainly the U.S. that is the main military muscle? Specifically, what do you disagree with?
disagree that that you're blaming America for everything. Hey, America could have something right for a change, you know? Why don't you just put a blame as well as not just Americans? Why not any other countries as well?
Wait a minute. So it's the opposite. You're saying I'm blaming America and I shouldn't.
Don't blame America too much. Gee, you're like saying America this, America this, that, and why America?
Stop! I can't understand you. I don't know if it's whether you had too much Jameson's or whatever it is, but are you saying I blame America too much, or I'm not blaming America enough?
You're blaming America too much.
Okay, that's what. Okay. It's the opposite, sir. Our country globally is getting the blame for this New World Order corporate empire, when we're fitting the bill for the derivatives and the military and all of it, and then getting the blame and getting none of the goodies, none of the booty out of this. I'm explaining it's a global corporate government. I want my republic back. I support George Washington, who said don't have foreign entanglements. I support Ron Paul, who wants to get us out of all these wars. Now, to you, is that blaming America if I don't want to be in all these wars?
Yes or no, because it's all about America, you know. You're talking all about America. Yes, I know you live in America. Is there any other country you can talk about as well? Like, for instance, let's say here, like Australia.
I want to ask you, so you're from New Zealand your whole life?
Yep, that's correct.
All right, well, I appreciate your call, sir. Did you have a long evening last night?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, because you sound drunk as a skunk, pal.
No, I'm not drunk.
You had a few drinks, though?
No.
You did have a long evening, though?
Yes.
What do you like to drink normally, sir?
I like drinking Coke or lemonade.
I'm sure you do. I appreciate your call. Oh, boy, I appreciate it. Oh, man, please, God, help me, these people. I don't know how I'm supposed to get through to them. You know, I take the disagree calls some because, I mean, I've never heard one that is actually coherent unless they're bringing up real stuff I'm wrong about, which sometimes I get facts wrong, or sometimes I'm being obnoxious and somebody points it out, or they have a good recommendation. But usually it's just all a bunch of personal issues, or they misunderstand what I'm saying. Let's go to Christine in Texas who disagrees. Let's hear this one. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. First, I have to tell you that my husband is a huge fan, and he's probably appalled at the moment. But I'm forced to listen to you every Sunday. And while I don't necessarily have a problem with that, I just wanted to let you know that I disagree with some of your tactics, which sometimes I think clouds the message that you're trying to get across.
Ma'am, I disagree with my tactics as well. I wish I was smarter and better and more suave. But I'm sorry, I'm just a hillbilly redneck who doesn't like tyranny, and I'm like a bull in the china shop. You ever heard the old British admiral who said, damn the maneuvers and go straight at them? You know what? That's all I can do. It's like, you know what? Forget the maneuvers. I'm going straight at them.
I'm simply trying to say to you that for someone like me who is a baby in terms of what you're trying to put forth, talking about animals having the life sucked out of them might be a little over the top.
I hear you, but you realize there's 1 million dead Iraqis in the last 10 years, last 20 since sanctions and liberation. I mean, what about them? I mean, I always see, whenever we put a video out of troops shooting some little kid for fun, and they always remove the video and call it profane, but then they'll show simulated murder on TV like it's okay. They just don't want the reality being seen. And I was pointing out that they kill dogs at the pound in a lot more brutal way than when you go put your dog down, which I love dogs and cats and have both and had to put many of them down. My point is that a lot of brutal stuff goes on behind the scenes, and our country is being butchered. But I agree with you. I do say a lot of abrasive, shocking stuff, and I don't do it on purpose. It's who I am. But in the final equation, can you argue with success, Christine?
You are an incredibly successful person. It's my sincere hope that the things that you speak about will be stopped or proved to be untrue.
Exactly, and I've got to scream bloody murder to get people to pay attention. So hopefully, you know, if I make enough of a spectacle out of this, it's going to get people's attention. And I never knew, because I didn't have a method to my madness. This is who I am. But luckily, who I am naturally, because it's not an act, actually works to get people's attention. And so who God made me naturally you know, guts, eyeballs, hair, and all, that has actually had an effect. I appreciate your call. Let's go to one more that disagrees. Brian in New York. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey there, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, I'm outraged.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you've been working out on the treadmill.
Hey, do me a favor and turn the radio down.
Okay.
Yeah, but, well, I also jog on the street some, but go ahead.
There we go.
I also run upstairs, but go ahead.
I hear you. So are you telling me that you ran on the road 10 miles and threw up on the road, or threw up in a bucket on the side of the treadmill?
No, I ran on the road, and I actually ran upstairs and a treadmill today, if you want to total it all up. But I don't know how that's disagreeing. Point is, I've lost 30-plus pounds, so it's not about how I ran the miles. I'm losing the pounds. That's what matters. You see, personal disagreement, not the point of the show. All right, now I got to start getting into the news right now, but don't worry, I'll get to Zach, James, Robert, and Susan before this show ends if the water doesn't rise over Bear Creek. I covered some of the news in the opening segment, but you notice I opened the phones up to the entire globe, and we have 3 million listeners a day on the weekday show. The Sunday show is more of a hobby, only about 1.5 million. 1 million-plus listeners out there. And that's live, not counting internet and podcasts and stuff later. Got about 700,000 a day download the podcast. And no one calls in to disagree who can really make a salient point. I mean, the lady made one about me pointing out how they really kill dogs at the pound. Well, I meant that to go get the dogs out of the pound or spay and neuter your animals. I didn't mean that to be mean. You know what? That stuff's going on at the pound, at the dog shelter, whether I talk about it or not. There's this idea that I talk about something and then it makes it become real. No. People think that if they believe something, that makes it real. But if they say it isn't true, I've had people look at me and say, I choose not to believe that. I was deer hunting. Well, I wasn't deer hunting. I was at our family's ranch, and they had some deer hunters there who were leasing part of the property back on opening day. And we were having a cookout barbecue down there. And a couple of them came over, veterans, engineers, with an engineering company that had leased part of the ranch. They'd leased like 1,000 acres of it. And they came over to me. My family's got a big ranch in East Texas, goes back to Spanish land grant. People are like, part of it was 1,000 acres? Yeah, it's big. And they came over and were like, I've seen you on TV. You're Alex Jones. You think 9/11's an inside job. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get into it right now. I don't want to argue. No, let's argue. Here, have some Crown Royal. And I'm sitting there talking to the guy, and I go, okay, well, here's my iPhone. It's got cell. Let me pull up Anwar al-Awlaki, Fox News, #3 in al-Qaeda, meeting secretly with the Pentagon. Or let me pull up the Libyan rebels being al-Qaeda. So I start showing it to him, and after about 20 minutes, he goes, Alex, do you believe in God? And I said, yeah. And he said, do you believe in faith? Because some stuff in the Bible's been disproven. But still, I believe in Jesus. So I'm not going to look at your facts. I choose to believe that isn't true. And I said, well, who are you to say the Bible's even been disproven? I mean, he's saying this is an article of faith for me, and I am saying I'm not going to look at this evidence. And I was giving him 1/1,000,000th of it, literally. That's like, oh, you just want to engage me, and you want to have a debate with me about something, but you don't actually want to have the debate.